Welcome back to our November edition of What's Up Stratford. Joining me next is Johnny Bose. He's the manager of asset management for the City of Stratford. Johnny, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Peter.
Most people have no clue in how many assets there are in the City of Stratford. What would be the number and what would be the value in terms of replacement?
So, the city of Stratford, our total right now is around 36,000 assets. So, that ranges from everything that you can see and what you can't see. So, the windows at City Hall are an asset, the laptops that staff use, the fire hydrants, the water mains underneath. And about 60% of our assets out of that 34,000 are ones you can't see. It's the underground infrastructure, it's the water, the sewer, the storm, those types of things. And one thing I should note is we have about 24,000 trees in the city. We count those as one asset, but I guess if you wanted to look at it, we actually have probably closer to 60,000. But yeah, and then the total value to replace all those, the replacement cost is it's about 1.9 billion to replace all the city infrastructure that we have right now. That's a fluctuating number because construction costs change, material costs change, but that's kind of where we're sitting around right now.
Right. There's a mandate by the provincial government for all municipalities to have an asset management plan. You've released one, I think it's 100 over 150 pages. Just tell us about what that document's about.
Yeah, so under Ontario Regulation 588, basically they put it in place as part of the Infrastructure Planning Act to ensure that municipalities have a long-term strategy because the reality is most of our city's infrastructure was built post-war. So a lot of our water and sewer storm, like the ones that make up a lot of the value, a lot of that stuff was installed after 1945. So it's a lot of it's coming up to the end of its life, and it needs to be replaced. And asset planning from a municipality, it's a multi-generational thing. We want to ensure that the generations beyond us aren't inheriting the issues that might exist now. And we don't want it to get any worse because it's just the way inflation's going and everything like that. It's even more crucial now that we do have proper sustainability, and that's the key word there. It's sustainability. It's not making sure that every single asset that the city has is in perfect shape, perfect condition. That's just not possible in any municipality. It's not feasible. But you just want to make sure you have a sustainable municipality and sustainable infrastructure so that generations down the road have that. And that's why the province put that in place, is to make sure that we do have a long-term plan, because councils change every 4 years, right? And mandates of those councils can change, and priorities. So they want to make sure that there's a very solid long-term structure in place for that.
Well, let's talk about that underground pipe, for example. You said post-war. So we've got arguably a pipe that's 80 years old.
Mhm.
Some 80-year-old pipes are in fabulous condition while other ones are worn out. So how do you quantify what you need to fix?
Yeah, so we use a multitude of things to make up a matrix for how we replace infrastructure that we can't see. So sewers are a really good one, because sewers, you can physically insert cameras through the maintenance holes, push them through, and you can get readings on it. Are there cracks? Is there infiltration? Is there rainwater getting in through the pipes? So we have different ways of getting condition assessments on those. Some of the pipes, like water, for example, the water mains, they're always fully pressurized with water, so you can't put cameras in them. You can't ever see what's in them. But we look at the history of how many water main breaks has that segment of pipe had. What age is it? What material is it? Is it an old cast iron pipe? It's more likely to break than a ductile iron pipe. So we take these different matrices and we weigh them, and then that comes up with a condition score that kind of helps us determine which ones we work on and which ones we don't.
Or is this report done from an outside company or audited? So how do they quantify to make sure that each report in the province is being done fairly?
Yeah, so we do it a couple different ways. A lot of it depends on basically how much staffing you have, and if you need to consult it out, that sort of thing. So the camera process, the CCTV sewer inspection process, is very time consuming and does take a lot of staff. So that's something that typically is a combination of contracted out, but also done internally by staff when possible. So you try to balance it as best you can. But then the actual ones for water mains, for example, we'll do that internally with the data that we have, because we have a lot of that in our GIS system. We've got the history of water main breaks, we've got the pipe material, and then we have staff knowledge, right? We have a lot of staff that have decades of experience that know soil conditions in certain parts. Oh, there was a gas station, on Erie Street back in the 60s. So that pipe is sitting around potentially contaminated soil. So that pipe is going to erode quicker than another part of town, right? So we have all these little like things that make up our overall decision making process.
Well, Johnny, thank you very much. 35,000 plus assets. That's a lot to manage. Thanks for doing that on behalf of the City of Stratford.
No problem. Thanks for having me, Peter. Appreciate it.
I'm your host, Peter Morange. Thanks for watching What's Up Stratford, and make it a great day.